On today's show, getting help to those who need it most in the community is the mission of the Fulton Atlanta Action Authority. We'll hear what the organization is up to now, and later from the District 4, in case you missed it, files. We'll celebrate with the National Church residences, highlight through film the real issue about HIV, and honor the first official health commissioner. I'm Commissioner Natalie Hall, and the district is next. Welcome to the district. I'm Fulton County Commissioner Natalie Hall. Because Fulton County is the most populous county in the state, as you can imagine, its population of residents in need is also immense. It's for that reason that organizations like the Fulton Atlanta Action Authority are so key and critical when it comes to social services, advocacy, and community education. Dr. Joyce Dorsey and Mr. Eddie Lee Brewster with the Authority are guests here today. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
All right, good to be here.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here.
All right.
Can you tell our viewers what is the mission of the Fulton Atlanta Action Authority?
Well, it's pretty long, but it involves working with all entities of the state, the county, and the city in which we reside to make sure that the least of these are addressed, taken care of through community services, social awareness, and intensive programs that solve the community problems.
Oh, very nice. How and who created FACA?
Well, Fulton County and the City of Atlanta. Back in 1991, we were instituted as an entity of the federal government, but with the state, the local governments, including the City of Atlanta and Fulton County, all combined to make this organization work for the sake of the people who are considered low income, falling down on their luck, unemployed, frail elderly, and even children without proper care.
Oh, that's outstanding.
Yeah, it's a big mission.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what are the eligibility requirements?
Well, there is a standard that is national, a certain percentage below income. Let's say that in Atlanta, the average income might be around $56,000 to live comfortably. Well, if you're making less than $30,000, you're low income. Mm-hmm. You know, that pays the rent maybe. It might give you bus fare and food. But utilities and all of these other things that it takes to live are harder to come by. And that's where people need help. Some people actually fall out of home life into homelessness due to not being able to make it. And once you get a record for not being able to pay your rent, it's hard to find another place. So we help people who are in that type of a condition as well.
And what services are offered to help people in these circumstances?
Well, we've got a pretty big list now.
That's all right.
But in generalities, I'll speak on that and ask Eddie to fill in the gaps. Would you help me with that?
Right.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Many people need help with their rent. That's rudimentary help. The paycheck may not go far enough, or a crisis has come up in the regular scheme of paying your bills. The lights may be turned off next week if you don't have the money to pay it on time. Or your car may break down and you don't have money to fix it unless you're robbing Peter to pay Paul. And these kind of circumstances can hit any one of us. If your income is fixed, doesn't mean that it's low. Mm-hmm. It means that it's fixed to the budget that you have. And all you need to do is experience some unanticipated mishap. And the next thing you know, you're in the same shape as a lot of folk who are working minimum wage jobs. So we help people who have a variety of needs, but we hone in on those things that we call permissible spending. We can help easily if a person needs help with their rent, their utilities, food, and even things for the children. The rest of it, we have to be creative and work with other organizations, and we call that sharing a lot of our service lines.
A whole lot of it, Commissioner. We collaborate with like-minded organizations. For instance, we may not can do it ourselves, but we would not leave a person hanging. We get calls all the time about, especially from single parents who may just run out of money for a baby formula. We get calls for sometime a wayward youth may be incarcerated for time, although we don't actually pay a fine, but we find ways to help families who are in crisis. Yes. See, our organization is the Fulton, Atlanta Community Action Authority.
Yes.
And that community is a very key word because we are in the community trying to help people with real life problems that a lot of us who are not there may take for granted. Yeah. We just completed our what we call career choices for returning citizens. Well, we try to really help people who have been incarcerated to get acclimated back into society so they can become participating in society as responsible taxpayers. Right. Those are the kind of things. And of course, now the big thing that we are known for, they call us the energy program, and that's the LIHEAP program. That's about to start back up on November the 1st. We will kick that off for this season. But there are many other things. You can get your GED there. We had a youth build program where we deal with youth, trying to get them started off and to have right working skills and mannerism and so forth. We'll finna start a single parents society. That Dr. Dorsey can talk about that a little more, but we are absolutely committed to action. But if you call our office, we will never just say no. We'll try to make it work for you.
All right. And he said you would elaborate on that one service.
The Single Parent Society.
Yes.
You know, behind the drape of poverty is the single female. Yes. Many times having never been married, many times having to bear the responsibility of all the children in the family. Having different problems like daycare issues, babysitting while working issues, feeding the children, and boyfriends and husbands who are not able to pay because of incarceration, unemployment, or sometimes absconding. Well, these are issues that have to be addressed. And the Single Parent Society brings together young mothers, older mothers, who have been having problems like this, to discuss, talk about ways in which one has overcome in order to teach the other one how to, or to present to us issues that maybe we can intervene on. But the biggest problem that a lot of single parents have is trauma, the trauma of their own childhood, being from families that were poor and hard times and experiencing or seeing and not knowing how to solve problems. Also, child abuse, neglect, foster care, and dropping out of high school because of pregnancy or other reasons and not being able to cut it, let's say, in terms of meeting societal requirements. So there's a teaching that has to go on, and some of that's learned within the group. We don't want to come at a person and say, this is how I did it when I was growing up. No, let's talk about in the framework of what you're dealing with today, how do you get this done? How do you get out of the hole? How do you get that person inside of you to feel good again? Or to feel good for the first time?
Oh, I love that.
And then get on with life.
Yes.
I can do it because there are some pathways drawn. There are some remedies that have been spelled out, and we may be able to see a brighter day. My children may be proud to call me mom in the midst of their friends.
Yes. Well, are there
it's
any...
a society.
Yes, and you know, it made me think about that statement that it takes a village to raise a child.
Yes.
But the way that you said the women come together and women who have been through certain situations will explain to the other women how they got through those situations and on the other side to success. That is like the village is actually raising everybody.
Yes.
It's helping everyone.
And that is the way it was done back in the good old days. Everybody learned from the examples of others.
All right. And how is FACA funded?
Mainly by the federal government.
Really?
Yeah, we do get monies donated We get foundation funds for special projects, and we write grants for other projects. But it should be funded on other levels, but the economy has been tight.
Yes.
Well, to add to that, Commissioner,
Yes.
in the old days,
Yes.
FACA was funded and powered by Fulton County government
All right.
and the city of Atlanta, but we have not got funding from Fulton County in years now, and we are trying to correct that now.
Absolutely.
And also, I want to point out that it's the Fulton Atlanta Community Action Board, but we serve all of Fulton County, which includes all the other cities.
Yes.
East Point,
Yes.
Roswell, Sandy Spring. And in that vein, we're in the process of actually reintroducing ourselves to the policymakers, city council people and mayors in all these cities.
Does FACA offer employment opportunities to people or help them obtain employment?
Yes, we do. We guide people to the sources. We ourselves may not find the job unless something that we know is in the pipeline, but we help them learn how to research for that job that they want through the sources that are most available for that job of interest.
That's wonderful. And do you offer help to veterans, the homeless, or ex-offenders?
Yes, ma'am. Anybody who is eligible, that is, that they're existing and barely existing below that poverty line. And even if they're not, we will give the advice. Information can be free. And many times people are struggling and they don't know who to ask questions to.
Yes, yes. Well, I'm sure our viewers want to know, how do they get in contact with your organization? Can you let them know the telephone number and website address?
Sure. Our telephone number is 404-320-0166. That is the main number.
Yes.
And they can ask for questions about any other organization and get referrals as well. Now, the website is www.facaa, the acronym, .org, facaa.org.
Well, thank you so much for joining the show and for providing this wonderful information for our residents in Fulton County. And thank you, Mr. Brewster.
Glad to be here, but just keep in mind there's a lot of need, but less funding. We got to increase our funding so we can help more people.
Yes, indeed. I agree with that.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you so
for having
much.
us.
And when we come back, we'll show you what's been happening in and around District 4. Our In Case You Missed It files are next.
Beautiful.
Welcome back. The District 4 team has been hard at work all around the county, supporting Fulton initiatives and programs of our partners. Check out our In Case You Missed It file. It was my pleasure to spend time with the good people from the National Church Residences during their Atlanta Mission Day. The organization's mission is to provide senior residents with affordable housing options. National Church Residences has 8 properties in Greater Atlanta. They held Mission Day at each facility, including this one at the Commons at Imperial Hotel.
It houses 90 formerly homeless individuals, and we provide not only housing but wraparound services to help them remain independent and hopefully regain the dignity and perhaps even become gainfully employed.
National Church Residences serves more than 42,000 seniors through its array of housing and health care services. With 340 communities in 26 states and Puerto Rico, it is the nation's largest not-for-profit provider of affordable senior housing. Each of the 8 housing locations used Mission Day to champion fundraising efforts for their seniors' property needs. Meanwhile, I also had the chance to join my colleague, Commissioner Marvin Arrington Jr., in co-hosting a screening of the film 90 Days, a production about the HIV crisis. The screening at the Southwest Arts Center included a panel discussion on the topic where audience members got a chance to hear directly from the executive producer and writer.
90 Days tells the story of Jessica and Taylor, who've been dating for 90 days. Taylor decides that he is so in love that he wants to propose to Jessica. And then the night that he proposes, there is a big reveal and their lives change forever. And it answers the question, are we greater than our secrets? And is love greater than our secrets?
As Fulton County's executive sponsor of the strategic priority area of All People Are Healthy, I had the chance to share with the audience some of the county's efforts related to HIV. The Fulton County Board of Health has been actively involved in efforts to confront the spread of HIV in Metro Atlanta, including the launch of pre-exposure, prophylaxis, and PrEP clinics to stop the spread of HIV, and the establishment of the social marketing campaign #StopHIVATL. And finally, celebrating the life of the health advocate just in time for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. My District 4 office, along with the Fulton County Board of Health, hosts the second annual Joan P. Garner Walk and Health Fair. The free community event included health screenings, activities for kids, and fitness demonstrations, and was held at the Washington Park, Atlanta Beltline West Side Trail.
I just wanted to support the cause for breast cancer awareness and to support the Joan Gardner program.
It was a wonderful day to remember the Commissioner and all of her work on behalf of the Fulton County residents. A special thanks to Fox 5 anchor Deidre Dukes for joining us as our Mistress of Ceremony. We will be right back. That's our show for today. Special thanks to our guests for joining us, and a special thanks to you for watching The District. Feel free to contact our District 4 office anytime by calling or emailing, and be sure to contact us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Until we meet again, I'm your District 4 Commissioner, Natalie Hall. Thanks for watching The District.